together to air out my dirty laundry? Back in a minute. Morning, good morning. This is Jan from New York City. Happy Saturday. How are ya? How you doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to my show. I'm on Monday through Friday every day, 5 a.m. Eastern. I also decided to come on this morning just to get more in depth about my experience with my Taboo portable washer. Now, never in my life did I ever think, ever in my life, that I'd be doing videos, okay, on this platform and literally showing myself doing a laundry. Hello, like what? Like me? Like what? However, I did. I uploaded the video last night. Now, I'm not going to apologize about the music superseding and overwriting my vocals on last night's video. I'm not going to do that because a lot of people requested. See that little snippet of music you just heard on today's intro? Well, you get to hear that song in its entirety, which is a rare moment that one could get to do that here. So that song is great and really great intro, but you get to hear the song in its entirety. Listen, I know it's Saturday. Not everybody gets the leisurely cup of coffee because it's Saturday morning, but some of us actually have to get up and go to work. But you know what? Even if you don't go to quote work, many people spend a lot of their Saturday working, whether they're working at home or shopping or preparing for the big game tomorrow. How many of you out there enjoy the big game tomorrow? Just let me know in the comment section below. Just wondering, you got your little snick snacks ready. And even though I personally don't totally understand that sport, I just know that it's a lot of fun and people are happy. And that's what counts. There you go. So let's go on talking about the my laundry experience with my TABU. So I'll pronounce it as TABU. TABU, not table. Wake up, Jen. TABU portable washing machine. It's the twin tub set. On the left side is the washing area, and on the right side it is the spinner. And if you go back to last night's upload, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I can include that in the description below. Let me tell you something. I was very, very happy. I was really, really happy. I was shocked. And here's the part that utterly shocked me, that when I put my shirt for demonstration purposes, because you guys are watching, I only put one shirt in to experiment with. Wow. Wow, wow. It wasn't even in that spin thing less than 1 minute. I mean, beyond the minute. It was in the spin thing less than 1 minute. So I was like, what? And can I tell you something? When I removed it from the washer area, it was dripping wet. It was heavy. It was dripping wet. And in less than a minute's time, oh my gosh. So let's go over the pros and cons about getting one of these. Number one, if you live in a small area, small apartment, RV, dorm, things of that nature, places of that nature, I would say this is for you. If you can even actually like have like a second person, it just doesn't have to be for one person. Just like stagger it out. Because you know what? I am so totally thrilled about this. I was spending like about, for the person that's here for the first time, welcome to the channel. I was spending about literally like $100 a month on laundry. But in my case, that was because item specifically, I thought I was giving me a quote, end of quote, treat by sending it off. $15 for the service and $5 I would throw as tip. So that would be like $20 one time a week. Do the math. Some months are bigger than others. So yeah, yep. And you know what? Right now, now's not the time for throwing away $100 a month. So instead of that, what I did, for those who were just now joining for the first time listening to me, what I did was I had accumulated I have a birthday in December, And of course Christmas time, and people kept asking me, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? I normally would just say, no, 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 don't get me anything. No, no, no. And then the folks were like, no, Jan, really, what would you like for Christmas? I said, well, those cards for, like you could get over to that place with letter A. So instead of buying too many teensy weensy little things, I did buy some stationery, and I did buy my good drying rack, by the way. But I purchased all of those things with my gift cards. Gift cards work. Anyone who thinks that when they either give a gift card or receive a gift card, that that's the lazy way out, I'm sorry. I have no problem. You could be as lazy as you want. If you're going to call yourself lazy for it, I have no problem receiving those gift cards. Tap, tap, tap. So if you get them, I highly recommend that you consider accumulating them over time. Okay. And don't think the value is going to go away, because it's not going to go away. Okay. So therefore, like, you just like have it there. Why do I say that? What about, let's say, you run into an emergency. Let's say that you saved up $500 or $800, like, just like let it there in the account. I'm just saying, like, over time, like throughout the year, if you get gifts or whatever, guess what? If your little refrigerator breaks down in your dormitory or whatever, you could get one of those little mini refrigerators easily, or even a bigger refrigerator. Well, not necessarily refrigerator, but something of that nature. Let's say your computer breaks down. I'm not kidding. I think this is a great idea. So this experience has taught me so much. So let's get back to the washer for a minute. Okay, so we know now the reasons why one should get one, because it's actually an investment. The only mistake that I made in this case was I fell in love with the price. I said, well, this is like the washer that I'm looking for. And I'm like, oh, only that little price? I should have thought twice. Why is this price as little as, well, I got it new, so it wasn't used. But the thing is the shipping. So that person or whatever gazonked me on the shipping. Shipping was a bit much. It was like totally unexpected. So it's like, you check it out, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh my word, like all that shipping. But as it turned out, it was still less than $150. Now let's think about that. That would be just a month and a half of me sending my laundry off. So let's just think about this. In a month and a half from now, that machine already paid for itself. Here are the pros, and I can only list mainly pros. Pros: I don't have to lug my laundry up and down all those stairs, even if I wanted to go to the public laundry. Two, I'm not a fan of public laundries. You're at the mercy of how crowded it is. Sometimes people hog up way too many machines, like, not even considering that there are other people that need the machines too. There are some people that like take up like 5 machines or whatever. So I mean, like, the inconvenience, the stress of it. It's winter time still. I mean, some days are really nice. The weather lately, we've been blessed. But some days, I look back at like a week ago, it was like an Arctic thing going on. Who would want to run to the public laundry on a day like that? I'm just being realistic. I can run my machine now. I can run my machine now and have a cup of tea. I can run my machine now and check the comments on my, for example, on my channel. I could like multitask. Really, really is a good thing. And it does not take up so much space. Another thing where it's a winner, and I'll tell you why I say this. You need a microscopic dose of laundry detergent. I kid you not, because you don't want to use a lot of soap. You do not want to use a lot of soap in it, because then guess what? You're stuck rinsing and rinsing and rinsing and rinsing. No, go with less soap. An old-fashioned trick. I mean, I don't know like how many people do it or agree with it, but I don't mind like adding, let's say, like a capful or two of vinegar to the wash. It softens the water, and no, you're not going to smell like a salad. But I want to double check. So don't do it yet, but I want to double check if it is actually safe for those machines. So, don't say, oh, Janet said, no, 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 no. Janet needs to check on that. But it's something I've been doing. So, okay, so let's see, more pros. More pros, like I said, it's the convenience factor. And especially like calculating the yearly savings. In my case, to save $1,200. Hello. And how about folks that have to like drive over to a public laundry? Look at all the gas the person is saving. So it really, in my opinion, it really pays for itself. Now, do I have a piece of advice about like this type of machine? Number one, before you make a purchase, and this is really, really important, plan ahead first on where are you going to put the machine. Like what? Like don't buy the machine and then all of a sudden you're scratching your head for, okay, so where am I going to put this machine? No. First, presuppose, like think, okay, could I put it there? Could I put it here? Every situation is different. Who lives in a bigger apartment? Who lives in an RV? Lives, whatever. Everybody's living space is so different. So, but that's a really important factor. Plan ahead. Where can you put the machine? Okay, and like go with the measurements that they mentioned in the specifications for the appliance, and like measure around and see how much literally that it takes. Okay, this is important. Next, when you're making the purchase, be clear to know if like your drainage is going to be based on gravity or based on an actual built-in pump in the machine. Because some machines, they may look exactly like the next one, but guess what? And they're all so cute, I have to say. But however, some are running with a pump, an actual pump inside of it, and that's a different issue as opposed to like working with a gravity drain. Because then you really have to figure that you must raise your machine if it's based on gravity. I forgot to mention that I already thankfully had a built-in platform of which, my machine is nestled on. So when I use it, the next thing that I am going to purchase, and I heard someone mention this on, I don't know if it was a comment. I think it was a comment. I think it was a comment from one of my sweet viewers that mentioned that they put theirs on a dolly, those like little expandable dollies, which is great because then you turn your a portable washer literally portable, like just like roll it around, like not, even though they're not like for some people, it's not like it's like terribly like heavy. It's just heavy enough to throw someone's back out if a person has a weak back. Okay, I'm just mentioning this in my opinion. This type of washer, mine, like I said, is 16.5. Well, what does that mean, 16.5? Well, what it means is, let's say that you could put 5 pounds of clothing, for example, in the spinning section, then that means that your washing area capacity is 11 pounds. So it's like, if you do the math on that, and so on and so forth. As far as the hoses go, the inlet hosing, let me tell you something. The inlet hosing on mine is a joke. Okay, I'm sorry. I know they give you this little dainty little thing, so I don't bother with that. And the amazing thing, and there are a plethora of such wonderfully instructional videos on the subject matter. I have learned so much before my machine actually even was delivered to my unit. Let me tell you something. I learned so much, and people really do go out of their way. I don't bother with that fill up thing, the fill up hose. It is so much simpler. You know what I do? I learned this. I actually learned this from someone. Originally, I was working with a pail to like for the very, very first wash that I tried, off camera, very, very first one. And to get familiar with it. So I used like a big pail to like throw the water in. Well, for me, it was easier to just take a large pitcher of water and just like, because, it has a handle on it, just fill it up a couple of times. Those machines, I mean, they're not going to take up like 7,000 pounds of water. They're small. They're relatively small, but you can get a number of clothing done. And it all depends on your situation. Children's clothes, socks, things of that nature, the small stuff. I'm a big person because, I mean, not necessarily tall, but like I'm broad rather than tall. So for me, it just might take a couple of articles to fill it up. So for me, it's a little different. But I don't have little kids running around, for example, that I have a family, small children. My family, everybody's grown now. So when you're a grandma, you get these privileges of getting to like have your own little washing machine. Just saying. But the next investment, and I call it an investment, okay? When you do this, get yourself a good quality drying rack. Okay, that is so very, very important. Okay. Um, and don't get like bogged down about worrying about that inlet that doesn't attach to your sink. I mean, honestly, it's just so much easier, in my opinion, to just manually pour the water in that way. Now, where it could be very tricky business, okay, is where your water is draining. Now, my instruction manual, which I don't wish it on anyone to try to decipher it. I was trying to decipher it. I mean, I guess the intention was good, but I couldn't figure it out, a lot of it. And no, because like the I don't know, it's just like a strange version of someone's version of English, but it just kind of didn't make sense. But anyway, so the instruction manual was very unclear, to say the least. Okay, so you have to exercise a little bit of common sense judgment, and like those like diagrams that you think you could try to figure out visually. Those Some of those diagrams are just not clear. It's just not clear. So the best thing you could do is research the manufacturer and get a toll-free number. And if you have any questions, ask the questions. What I did find very interesting is how a lot of people are coping with the drainage. So some people put it in their bathtub, some people in showers. Many times I've seen people do it in their kitchens, which was my option. My option is because I didn't want to keep rolling that thing all over the place. I just wanted it conveniently located. So for me, that's what works for me. Everybody's place is different. So you have to go according to what works best for the individual. Do I recommend this kind of machine? Yes, I do. Other than my complaint about the manual and not noticing, and this is important, not noticing a lint tray in mine. Now, I don't know if those have lint trays. I looked at every diagram in my manual. I looked at all the words in my manual. I even tried to like distinguish everything. No. As far as I see, no lint tray, which is weird. But no big deal. Thankfully, help is on the way. So I went over to Amazon and I ordered. It looks like a little like a daisy type thing. And what it does, you float it in your washer, from my understanding, and throughout the wash cycle, it actually picks up the lint. Is that cool or is that cool? That's my understanding. If I misunderstood, oh well. I will double check. And when I get that item, I will show it to you on a future upcoming video. I'm expecting it any day from now. So that's pretty much basically it. And it's fun. I mean, it's a fun thing to do. So you take a little time, but you're in the comfort of your own place. You're not battling against waiting for strangers. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of public laundries. I'm not going to lie. It's just, I find it very distasteful. And for me, I just don't like it. If you have no choice, you have no choice. Now, can you put huge blankets and things like that in one of those? In my one, I would not recommend that. Okay. But like for like little things like shirts, pants, dainty type clothes, things of that nature. Yes, very much. Yes, yes. Pillowcases, definitely. Sheets. I could see sheets going in there. Not a problem. I washed a couple of pillowcases in there the other night and everything turned out great. All right. So much for all of that. Now listen, I want to mention to you, if you're still here. And if you stuck by this long, thank you so much. This afternoon, it's Saturday, okay? This afternoon, I will be on the Steve Young 74 show at 1:30 p.m. We talk about some really good grocery saving, money saving tips and tricks. So if you have a chance, roll on by at 1:30. Now that the secret is out, I can actually say it. So the other day, I had the absolute honor and pleasure of meeting with, oh my gosh, of meeting with Hope and Larry from Under the Median. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Really nice folks. Oh my word. Uh, Thank you, Dawn. We had the opportunity and we met and we recorded a really awesome show. However, that will not air until next week. And if you're listening to this in the future, just go over to the Sensible Living with Money Mom channel and you could look it up. And we had a really great talk. It was just so wonderful meeting with Hope and Larry. It's just really, really nice people. The way they come across to you on camera, they are like that in real time. Oh my word. They are just so, so sweet. I just want to say something. I want to give a shout out to the Frugal Money Saver. I want to give a shout out to Prepper Princess. These are folks that, like, they're just so helpful all the time, all year long. And I want to personally thank you. And Rhoda Stone, of course. Hey, Rhoda, how you doing? Don't forget, of course, the At Home with Lynn Wilson show. Don't forget Ellen's Abundant Life. And don't forget Life with Patty. And of course, don't forget Debbie from the How Debbie Saves channel. What a week. Well, listen, I'm glad it's the weekend. And I too will be kicking back. And even though I really don't 100% understand football, I will definitely enjoy the big game on Sunday. All right, everybody, thanks so much for being here. I really do appreciate your time. I also really appreciate it if you can consider, as soon as I find my consideration thing, where are you, consideration thing? You have to consider this thing. Anyway, please do this. See you later today at the Steve Young 74 channel at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And of course, there goes what? The bird clock. Have a great day.